This video shows you how to massage sore muscles that might be giving you a bad back. We start with the crab crawl position. This is good for just above the sit bone and bottom of the hip pocket area. Rolling around, find a sore spot, there's a good one, and just sit on that for a while and then move around again. From here, we can just simply prop on an elbow. Roman feast position. As you can see, I could be eating peacocks, glasses of wine and grapes. Roman feast. Nice to move around there. Move the legs a bit so we've got a bit more freedom to move. From Roman feast we can go into sideline, get the ribs close to the mat and that ball sinks deeper. Sideline, it's nice to just use a smaller ball. There we've got the ribs to the mat, the leg to the mat, and we can just move around a little in sideline. The fourth position is basic bridging. This position will do the center to the top of the hip pocket. If I put a tilt on the hips, we come to the outside top corner of the back hip pocket, and we're now just nicely positioned over the glute medius. So that's the four positions. Crab crawl, Roman feast, propped on an elbow, sideline, and basic bridging with the hips on a tilt, so one side up. We can do the similar things now on the wall, just similar shapes in space. Okay, for using the wall and the ball for massage, we're using the same shapes in space as we used on the mat. Remember, we started with the crab crawl. This we had the hands on the ground. Just put the ball in just above the sit bone, and there we go. Feels like crab crawl. Now if we put a little more weight into the front of the feet and squeeze the front of the feet together and have the knees wide, we're in a really nice position, lots of mobility there and confidence to move around lower part of the hip pocket. From there we've got something similar to Roman feast, just propped on the elbow, and that's quite nice too. Again, this outside knee is out a little, we're just pressing gently into the toes, narrowing the front of the foot. We've got a really nice position there. From here into sideline, and I'm going to put the smaller ball in because that's a nicer one for this. Now as long as the ribs are on the wall and the legs on the wall, very little weight on this leg, that muscle on the side hip is soft and we're nicely pressing in there. Now one good thing about on the wall is we can actually take that ball from where it is at the moment above the top of the femur and bring it to in front of the top of the femur. If I take the arm behind, that's putting a tilt on the hip section. We're now on the muscle, the tensor fasciae long. Ooh, right, that's got the spot. And if I just move a little, just press in there. Now the final one that we were looking at on the mat was just basic shoulder bridge, and we can mimic that on the wall too. So we go into monkey, just from Pilates wide stance. The bottom goes backwards and the knees bend wide. We've got the fingers dangling between the knees. Now with this position, we just pop the ball in. Knees are still wide. A little more weight on the front of the foot, the front of the foot squeezing together and narrowing. And we just take the shoulders back. Similar to shoulder bridge on the mat. Now the knees are a little bit wide and a little bit more weight on the front of the feet, that's really mobile. We can really get into the spots. There's a spot there. That's about low hip pocket. We can go to middle hip pocket. Top of hip pocket, maybe a little bit on an angle. The top outside corner of the hip pocket. That's feeling pretty good. And then it can just come all the way around. And at this stage we're into the sideline position. Ribs and leg close to the wall. And we could even go to front of the thigh bone. Enjoy.